It's beautiful. The dancing is unbelievable. It's so marvelous. I'm very impressed.
So I was impressed with how the show was mounted very nicely. Beautiful costumes, beautiful scenery.
Particularly impressed by the precision and the technique and the artistry, but also the way in which it was presented, which was self-explanatory, which was refreshing to not have to be referring to a program.
I love it so far. It's a lot of fun. It makes me want to learn how to dance better. Oh, the music is just, it's the icing on the cake. It's perfect because you have the story being told, you have the dancers dancing, and then you have the music kind of bringing you into it.
I like the technicality. There's a lot of techniques, and there's a lot of the perfection and the unison in the show. They're all the choreography is very tight. You can tell that they're very, very well trained. So, and the technique is incredible.
As you see here, and what is so good about this too is, well, everyone's so elegant. Everyone's in such great shape, and how can you resist it?
I think my next collection gonna be inspired in the Himalayas. I'm loving it, the colors. I'm loving it, everything about the Mongolian. I just saw the first parts of the show, and I think I'm not gonna be able to sleep now.
I guess I'm touched by the message that you bring into us from the wisdom of the ages.
It's marvelous. I don't know how much time they spend on rehearsing all those numbers, but each number is a marvel. I can't stop watching.
The language, the interpretation, the scenery was absolutely gorgeous. The costumes, really, I loved it. I would recommend it to everyone.
They're amazing, and I wish I could do what they do. I really wish there was some place here that I could take.
Well, we're just saying that it was great that they could tell a story without words, it was just through dance, which is amazing. There were so many stories that go back so many hundreds of years that they were presenting, and we walked away with so much knowledge that I didn't know before, so much history from China, so it was amazing, actually. It was really well done. Yeah, you have to catch this show. It's amazing, and everyone's just perfection. It's just beautifully done. It's just wonderful. Catch it.
Very, very inspiring to see this. My mind started to race with ideas about because it really does bring the film or the cinematic world and the live world together. Particularly when the clouds start moving in the background and the background's actually animated, you now have two levels of three-dimensionality. And it's really interesting. And
I love it. It's so cool to see different cultures dance, because there's dance everywhere in the world, and it's so different. And it's just exciting watching every act. I love it.
It's elegant, flawless. It seems like it's so easy, but it's so beautiful.
I thought the show was beautiful. I thought the dancing was beautiful. The costumes are very ornate and exciting. But it also sort of piqued an interest in Falun Dafa. And it makes me want to go home and research it a little bit and see what it's all about. I actually met somebody earlier tonight that also saw the show, that picked it up in Washington, D.C. 10 years ago. And he had an addiction problem. And he just told me that it's what kind of remedied his addiction problem. So he found Falun Dafa, and he no longer had the addiction. So it's interesting. It's beautiful, entertaining, but also informative.
It's interesting because the music that I'm playing is similar to what you're doing here. It's music that actually has a message to it, and that's what this was here. It was really great. Not only was it a feast for the eyes and a feast for the intellect, but the messages were great. And not just a message, but each song had a different message. There was a message of astounding conviction, which also was being invincible, right, with your conviction. There's messages of love. It's just great. I just really loved it. Yeah, it was touching. That definitely deserved a standing ovation, and I stood.
We had no idea. We knew it was going to be wonderful, but we didn't know it was going to be that wonderful. It was so beautiful, everything in good taste, everything professional. They had a very deep spiritual message in everything, not just about Buddha, but about the freedom of the people. I thought it was all done beautifully. It meant much to us. The Western music, the Western instruments and the Asian instruments combining, And the singers, the music was great. The conductor of the orchestra must be very, very, very good because the orchestra was super, totally professional. The tenor blew us away.
You wanted to cry, cheer, you wanted to just go, yay, this is right, this is beautiful. But you were so immersed in watching it that you couldn't. You know, you just had to hold so many feelings inside. But I know that the audience was touched so deeply by so many beautiful things they saw and heard.
We were in a different world the whole time, wouldn't you say?
We were just immersed in the Chinese culture, and it was so, you know, the movements are different, and so smooth, just like rippling water, and the cloud dance, just like clouds, and just the interpretation of nature that was so beautifully done with the human body was just an out-of-world experience. It was just gorgeous. I love the soprano and the bass. You know, they just were wonderful, and the instruments were great. But the fullness of the Chinese voice, it's just the velvet sound was just beautiful.
I'd love to hear that tenor sing Beethoven.
I have never seen such beautiful costumes. These people know how to do it, really and truly. It is beautiful. It was gorgeous. I enjoyed it 1,000%. It was so beautiful. I have been to many operas, stage shows, you name it. I have never seen anything to compare to this. This is the very best, the most colorful, and the best directed I have ever seen. I hope many people will see, how do you say this word? SHEN. It is the most beautiful production I have ever seen, and everybody who will ever come and see it will also say the same. It is outstanding.